Quick question. When was the last time you saw a viewer rage tweet because their favorite TV anchor doesn't know how to color correct video? Exactly. So why are you out here sweating whether it's cheating to let AI help you with your podcast? Look, if you're new or aspiring, you've probably absorbed this lie that quote-unquote real podcast hosts do everything themselves. They write the script, they book the guests, they edit the audio, they cut the reels, they write the show notes, they craft the newsletter, they summon a small demon to post on social media 3 times a day across 5 different platforms, and I'm getting hives just thinking about it. By the way, that's not a creator. That is a sweatshop with a ring light. Here's the truth no one at the podcast meetup wants to say out loud. Your job is not to be a one-person production facility. Your job is to be a tastemaker, the person with the point of view, the stories, the decisions about what's in and what's out. AI does not threaten that. AI actually needs that. Because without your taste, AI is just a fire hose with no aim. With your taste, it's a flamethrower. Let's go back to TV. Anchors don't run the switcher. They're not in Premiere Pro color grading their segment at 2 a.m. There's a control room full of people doing that so the anchor can focus on what they actually get paid for. Presence, timing, clarity, and not butchering a name on live TV. You know what I mean. Same goes for radio, and I've worked in that space for more than 2 decades. I've worked with talent who couldn't edit a phone call if their job depended on it. It didn't. Listeners don't lie awake at night wondering, wow, I hope my radio host who does that totally fake bit every Thursday morning involving flowers normalized that video and ducked the music bed by exactly 3 dB. What they care about is how you make them feel during their commute. Whether you say the quiet part out loud about their industry, whether you sound like a human, not a press release. So why are you holding yourself to a standard you don't even apply to anyone you admire? Before you answer that question, do me a favor. If you like what you hear so far, share this episode with someone else who needs to hear it. Now, here's where AI comes in. And no, this isn't Skynet. It's your invisible intern army. Imagine this workflow. You record a raw, messy, brilliant half-hour-long episode. You toss the audio into tools that transcribe it, pull out the best quotes, draft your show notes, YouTube description if it's a video show, newsletter, and a handful of social posts. Slice clips, add captions, and spit out vertical video for reels, shorts, and TikTok. You spend your time on the hook, the story, the hot take that will get you side-eyed at a conference but loved by your actual listeners. You know, people that could affect your bottom line. And that's not selling out. It's finally acting like your time is worth more than minimum wage. Let's talk about why this feels so wrong to some of you listening. It's not about AI, it's about ego. If AI can help you stay consistent, ship your episodes more often, and reach more people, then suddenly you're out of excuses. You're no longer able to hide behind, I just don't have time to write show notes. I'm bad at social. I'm overwhelmed by editing. Now, the only question left is brutal and simple. Do you have something to say or not? If the answer is yes, then refusing to use tools that help you say it louder and clearer is not noble. It's self-sabotage wearing a halo. And that ain't cool. Here's the common thread between TV anchors, radio hosts, YouTubers with editors, best-selling authors with ghostwriters, and you with AI. You're all tastemakers. You all decide what deserves airtime. You decide what gets cut. You decide what tone, what angle, and what line you will and won't cross. Whether the script was organized by a junior producer, a ghostwriter, or a large language model, the stamp is yours. That's what the audience is showing up for. Your listeners do not care if your show notes were written by you at 1 a.m. or if they were crafted by a SaaS product like castmagic.io. They care if, when they hit play, they feel like, finally, someone gets me. So here's your permission slip to delegate. Use AI to brainstorm titles and hooks, turn transcripts into outlines and blog posts, draft emails, tweets, LinkedIn posts, YouTube descriptions, and so much more. Repurpose one single episode into a week's worth of content. Keep for yourself the core ideas, the stories from your life. There are plenty of them, right? You're interesting. You're listening to this show. Haha. Also, the jokes you almost don't want to tell. And the final pass where you make sure it sounds like you and not a corporate memo. And let's face it, corporate memos suck. You're not outsourcing your soul. You're outsourcing your busy work. So, if you're a new or aspiring host wrestling with whether it's okay to embrace AI, here's the verdict. If TV anchors and radio hosts, those legacy media types, if they get producers, you are allowed to have a robot intern available at your every beck and call 24/7 whenever you want. You're not a button pusher. You, my friend, again, are a tastemaker. Act like it. If this hits you in the gut, and I hope it did, do two things for future you. Hit follow so you don't miss the next episode. And pick one piece of your workflow, just one, not a whole bunch, just one, and hand it to AI this week. Show notes, clips, email, whatever. Then use the time you get back to do the one thing no machine on earth can fake. Show up with your voice, your scars, your perspective, and say the quiet part out loud into that mic. So, keep your mic hot, your standards high, and your guilt about delegating at absolutely positively zero. And if you'd like some help with your podcast, please, by all means, shoot me an email at Freddie, with a Y, Freddie@spekepodcasting.com. Thanks for listening.